Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Ocean's Pit. We're back again, folks. That's right. It's Tuesday. It is Tony O on the north side, Kara Brandolino on the south side. It is November 18th, and we got a lot to talk about since I wasn't no show yesterday. But the teeth are much. Oh my God, these two front teeth are all. Oh my God, it was amazing the job they did, but a little pain. I got part two coming up next 2 weeks from now. So anyway, check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com. Give us a call at 847-769-8609. Book a show. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, the men and women in the military, and, of course, our veterans who fought for our country. It's Ocean's Pit. Time to go to work. Let's go. 2. Welcome, everybody. It's a beautiful Tuesday. Well, it's a little rainy. It's been raining all day. It's going to rain all day. But we're here dry in the studio, folks. And thank you guys for tuning in today. Don't forget, let's start off with our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local. Blackstone 28-inch griddle with hood, $279.99 down from $399.99. That's a 30% savings. Get a free $10 gift card when you purchase a $50 gift, 2 per person limit. Save up to $150 on Milwaukee Pack Out. Save between $50 and $150 on Milwaukee Modular Pack Out Tool Storage System when you spend $199 or less. Black Friday, folks, 25% off all Carhartt clothes. Pretty cool from our friend. Ace is a place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. All right, Carol's back in town from New York City, of course. She went out there with her daughter and Gina and her friend. Very cool. Overall, the experience was fun, though, right? You had a great time. And Carol, can you picture yourself living there?
When I was younger, I would have in a minute. I loved it when I was younger. I loved it when I went now. It's just I'm older. I'm different. You know what I mean? So no, okay. Now I probably would not live there, because if I would have moved there, it would have been to the city, right? I'm not going to move to New York to go to a suburb of New York. What's the point? You want to experience, be around the hustle and bustle of it all. But at the end of the day, like I was telling you, there were some events that happened out there, some crime, some big stuff that happened right around the area where, it's like Chicago. Like, you got to be careful. Like everybody was saying, just, be diligent, keep your eyes in the back of your head, watch where you're going. Don't walk at night, obviously alone. It's very similar to Chicago, but Eliana got an experience of a lifetime because she got to see pretty much everything that you would go to New York typically to see. There were a couple things we missed, but we walked to Madison Square Garden for her show, the birthday show, the podcast. And she was in awe. Like, she was so excited to see these guys that she's been watching, and she's never been to something like that. She was little. I said, this reminds me when I took her to see like Frozen on Ice. I'll never forget. Yeah. She was like 4 and her face was lit up. And, I saw that in her. Oh my God. It was just such a cool moment. And we had a great time. It is so expensive. Listen, I just wanted one drink. Like, I barely drank on this whole trip. I still wasn't feeling 100%. I just wanted one damn drink. It was like one of those like 20-ounce cans you could get, Sure. It was of a Sun Cruiser. It's like hard iced tea. And I got her a bottle of water. Right. Do you know how much I paid for that bottle of water and a 20-ounce Sun Cruiser at Madison Square Garden?
$32.
$32.
$32.
I was like, what? Did you just say what? Like, yeah. So no, I could not see myself living there. It's very, very, very expensive. Very expensive.
It's crazy. It's
Mhm.
crazy, yeah, and yeah, we're just and yeah, so yeah, you never know, but it's an experience you guys will always remember, which
Oh
is
yeah,
kind of cool.
for sure, for
We
sure.
got a busy week. I want to, speaking of New York, I want to thank Donnie Drama, Donnie Biaggi, for being my guest on Friday. Didn't get a chance because I wasn't on the show yesterday. Getting a chance.
Mhm.
Thank you, Donnie. He's coming to Chicago soon. Can't wait. And then Chicago Prime was great on Friday. I want to thank Club Arcata Speakeasy. We were there Saturday and Sunday and got to party with my good friend Frankie Hollywood Rodriguez, which was cool on Saturday. The band was outstanding. Jerry and Tony Toto and Danny Ramundi was on Saturday and was on Sunday. Now Jerry wasn't with us; he's taking care of his mom, who moving to Florida, and that's got to be difficult when you've had your mom next to you your whole life, and
Yes,
now she's moving to Florida to a retirement home to live with his other brother that's gonna is out there, and that's gonna be it's got to be a little difficult. But I talked to him today, and
absolutely.
he's coping with it. Which
Mhm.
is kind of cool. There's Jeff.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy? Tony O is in the house. Jill, Marion, David, Yvette, welcome to Ocean's Pit. We appreciate it very much. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, and I know you got some great stories as well. But this is interesting. Illinois, if you heard about this, Carol, Illinois, it wants to pass a law here to assisting a suicide bill.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this? Is this what?
Okay, so hold on. We talked about this last week. I brought it up. Remember? It was called the end of
Yeah,
life. It's called like an end of life bill,
yeah,
and they have to be like
right.
6 months. 6 months diagnosed, maybe 6 months to live. Like there are stipulations in
Yeah,
it. I hate that they call it assisted suicide. First of all, when you call it that,
right.
then you're changing. You're just I don't know. I think it's taking away from what this really is. It's giving people their own dignity, their own decision at the end of life. Okay, so also other people in your family don't have to make any those types of decisions, right? So they're leaving it to the people as long as they're of sound mind to make those decisions. I support that. I support it completely because we know people that are suffering,
Yeah,
and they
me
ask
too.
us, like, I don't want to do this anymore. And they're just laying there. I don't think that's, I think it should be passed. I think it should be passed, and people should be able to make that decision, whatever, if it's 6 months left to live. But calling it an assisted suicide, no, no, that's not, I
Yeah,
don't think they should be called.
the name really horrible. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
There you go,
right.
Tino San Angelo. End your life with dignity. Maybe that'd be
Exactly.
better. End your life
Exactly.
with dignity. Be perfect, Tina. Great
Mhm,
response on. I think that's
mhm.
important. Also, our parents had a big car crash they had in Park Ridge. I mean, there was so many things in the Northern Lights. I didn't get to see those, but I heard they were
Mm,
fantastic a couple
yeah.
days back on that. All right, here's something interesting. Now, Carol, what do you think about this? Dads spend more time, 3 times more times with kids now as they did when you were younger. In 1965, supposedly 2 to 5 hours per week the dad spent with their child. Now it's over 57% of mostly 8 hours a week that the dads are spending with their child. Do you see that more? Is it because what I don't understand is maybe because dads are working from home now and they can spend more time with the kids? Or why do you think that is? Or it's changing so many. Now, mind you, this was 1965 compared to
Mhm.
now.
Oh, yeah.
But do you see that?
It's
Why do you
because
think that is?
yeah. Well, 2 reasons. One is, women, there's a lot, I don't know what the percentage is. A lot of women are slowly starting to become the breadwinners of the family because they're going back to work. Women are working now. They're not necessarily stay-at-home moms because they can't afford to be, a lot of them. You have to have 2-income household. So if now the woman is able to work and bring in some of that money, guess what? Then the father, if this man really wants to spend that time with their kids, I think it's a great thing because they, look at 8 hours a week. That sounds like nothing. That's nothing in your child's life. I mean, meaning with how many
No.
hours in a day we have is 8 hours a week. Yes, it's better than nothing for sure. But now the men that really want to spend that quality time with their kids, if their wife's working and bringing in a good amount of money, then that's what's opening up the door for them to say, okay, the man doesn't have to work 80 hours a week, or he doesn't have to have 2 jobs. You know what I
Because
mean?
are
So
the
it's
women
opening.
happy with that though? Carol, are the women happy now? Because back then the women used to be the back and the men would be the workers. Are the women happy now that they have to work harder and the men stay home, or not necessarily staying home? But do you think that the reversal, some women are happy with that?
I think it's completely individual. It's an individual thing, meaning I think it depends on your relationship, your marriage, or
Yeah.
your relationship
Yeah.
or your marriage. Because if you're truly a team, which you should be, right? If you're married
Yeah.
or have children together, I think they would be very happy with it, because you know what? It's very, very, very difficult to be a stay-at-home mom, because you're talking about 8 hours a week for some men, and that's a lot. These women are 24/7 with their kids, and there's one kid, two kid, three kids. It's so hard. It really, I did it, but I also worked at night part-time. I bartended. So like, you'd be home all day, you're running, it's chaos, it's a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong. But I think
Yes.
it's helping women to start, just kind of having their own their own time, and working and being able to make some money on their own. A lot of women I know where they have to ask to spend money, just being fair, because if you share the same account and you're not working, see, I would not want to do that. That's just me. I've always been very independent, financially independent. I would never want to ask. And I think it's
Yeah.
good for people to make their own money too,
Yeah.
to do what they want. So I think it's probably 50-50. I think some women love it because they want to be able to contribute and get out and be with adults too. It's balance. It's work-life balance, I think.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. And I think that it makes total sense. Because I remember growing up and my dad was hardly ever with me. I
Right.
seen my dad when we're eating, but because he's always working nights. So I can
Mhm.
understand now. It makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense. You're watching Ocean's little show about big things. They're talking about so much thing. Pete Diddy was caught with um, a PlayStation underneath his pillow in prison, and they're making a big deal out of this. Now, granted, all right, the guy's a scumbag. We all know that, but he's got some friends in prison that give him this stuff, and this is what makes news. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
really,
just crazy
really.
that he's got a PlayStation. Um, Crazy. Kissing your dog now they say is dangerous.
Uh-oh.
Do you have a pet? They said kissing your dog on the lips. They say it's supposed to be dangerous. Now we all do it. At least I know I do. When the dog
Yeah,
comes, it is what it
yeah,
is. Do you do that? And do you think
yeah.
they might lead to some germs? That's what they're saying. Salmonella, they're calling it
Oh, well, because dogs
infection.
eat their poop a lot of times, right? So I think that's where the part that you could really get sick, right? If that's the case. But my dog does I let my dog kiss my face. I always have. I mean, I don't
Me
stick my
too.
tongue in my dog's
Yeah.
mouth. I mean, but they
No.
do,
Right.
you gotta
Nobody
be
does that.
careful.
Right. Right.
Right, you gotta be
Right.
careful because people do get grossed out. They're like,
Right.
ew. Yeah, I guess it's
Yeah.
all over. If they're kissing your face, yeah, you got to be careful. But there's worse things out there. I guarantee there's dirtier mouths on
Well,
women
I
and
bet
men
you
out
some
there than there
dogs
is on
are
my
cleaner.
dog.
Dogs and cats are cleaner. Yeah, they're cleaner
Right.
than some
Yes.
people. I agree with you. Buddy,
Yeah.
what's going on, pal? Patrick Moore, great seeing you on Saturday, buddy. Yeah, Dr. Jagoyevich. I mean, yeah, that's
Oh,
right. He should have
Kevorkian.
won the
Mhm.
Nobel Prize. Yeah, good prize. I can't pronounce his name. Another thing that's bad for you, sushi may contain worms, some sort of worms that bower into your stomach. I'm always afraid of that shit. You mean I'll do the California rolls.
Yeah.
Are you a sushi eater? Carol, are you a sushi eater?
No, not like the only thing I'll eat raw. I'll do all the rolls and all that stuff. I can do ahi tuna. I can do tuna raw. Other than that,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
I won't touch any
Yeah.
raw fish. I can't. It's just it grosses me out and it worries me too because it's raw. No.
You never know what's going to be.
Ugh.
I agree with you guys 100%. You're
Yeah.
watching Ocean Spit, little show about big things, folks. Busy week.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, actually, I'm off, but we're going to see Nick from Italy, one of the great Italian singers. He's like Brian Adams of Italy.
Oh,
That's tomorrow at the display. I'm excited about that. But Thursday will be, of course, at Venuti's in Addison with Main Event Band. And, of course, now tomorrow's show, I'm having my good friend, of course, Conservative Ant will be on our show tomorrow. Now, he was supposed to be on Thursday, gig in
oh,
the afternoon on Thursday for Jacob
okay.
Hansen in Joliet on Thursday
Yes.
during the day. So he's going to be on the show tomorrow starting the show at 12 o'clock. But then he's coming live. Now, he's in Chicago doing a food tour, and he's going to be doing a food tour Thursday night at Vanu in
Yeah.
Addison. Of course, that will be playing there at 7:30. And Conservative Anthony's a great guy. Anthony Ramundi, we're talking about, the son of our sax player, Danny Ramundi. So he'll be on the show on Wednesday. Then you can meet him live in person on Thursday night at Venutis. We're excited about it. He's a great guy. And he was on the show before. A great guy. And and he's very smart. A lot of stuff that he says is very smart. You agree with him if you're conservative. If you're not, you're going to think if you're a liberal, but he tries to be a little bit in the middle.
He does try, because you know what? He does call. I'm a huge fan. I was a fan of his before I even knew it was Danny's son, which freaked me out.
Right.
But you know what? I watch him, and he is not only hilarious, he says it like it is. He's funny as hell, but also he does call out his conservative counterparts sometimes when he's just like no nonsense, common sense. But he's himself. You know what I mean? He's just real. And he's very conservative, but also, he just makes sense. And he does call out the conservatives when there's crickets. He does call them out and says, listen, you should be questioning this shit too. I don't care if you're a conservative.
I agree with you 100%. And the only time he gets a bad rap because his name is Conservative Ant. If it was just Anthony Ramundi, then people would never really say, oh, he's just a conservative. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he's very good, very smart. Very witty. If you ever watch his stuff on Instagram, a lot of followers. He's going to be on the show tomorrow, and then you can meet him at Venutis on Thursday, folks. It's got a lot of fun here. Okay. The dating, this is interesting. Emo, wait, hi, my two great people. I love Nick. Hope you're feeling good, especially wonderful mother. Well, thank you, Emo. I hope you're doing well in Florida. Hanging and banging, male dogs lick their ball sack. Okay.
Yay, lucky them.
Lucky them that they can do that themselves. I agree with you guys 100% to be able to do that.
I wish men could do that. I think women would be like, "Oh, go right ahead. Like you don't need anything.
You don't need to bother me." Yeah, right, exactly. Someone sent this in. Tony says the dating pool definitely has pee in it.
Yeah. Definitely.
There you go, folks. The question that we have for you, folks, is it better to be 10 minutes early or 1 minute late? 10 minutes early to an appointment or 1 minute late? Definitely 10 minutes early, I think. What's your take on that, Carol?
Yeah, always early. Always early. You got to make up for that. It's better early than late.
I agree with you too. That 1 minute late, maybe it's okay at parties.
Oh,
you
parties,
can stretch it at parties.
Professionally, no. Mm-hmm.
Professionally, appointments, you should be definitely, you know what I mean? Natalie, good afternoon. Kath, how are you doing? Robert, hello, welcome to Ocean Hill. U.S. has now, this is more crazy stuff here, Karen. U.S. has more people without jobs than there actually are jobs in the United States. So there's more people unemployed. I mean, they're probably talking about good jobs. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get it.
You can get, you know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because I see all these restaurants now they're looking for servers, they're looking for bartenders, they're looking for backup, they're looking for all that stuff. That's still a good job. Look, if you don't have the college skills, and you can make good money at these restaurants, folks. I know the girls that work at Chicago Prime, the servers, they can make over $100,000 a year.
Six figures all day. If you don't have to worry about benefits, that's the only downfall. Yeah. I would be retired almost right now if I was able to do that back then, because I did it for so long. You can make $400 or $500 a night. If you want to work 3 nights a week, you work 3. You want to work 4, you work 4. And now people aren't going to be taxed on their tips. Listen, this is golden for people that work this type of job. People look down on them sometimes, and you know what? It's the dumbest thing you could do, because they're making so much more money than you'll ever make. It's the benefits is the only thing, and they're working half as much as you are. They're working half as many hours as you are. And so they're able to live their lives. It's work-life balance again. You know what I mean?
Especially if you work, but remember, your social life is gone. Your weekends are gone. Your holidays are gone, especially if you work at ethnic restaurants. I don't know, like Italian restaurants. I know Greek restaurants never close.
Oh,
no
no.
matter what holiday it is.
No,
But
we
I
had
have to admit,
Easter Sunday food at our restaurant. Birthdays, everything was at the
yeah,
restaurant.
yeah,
We lived there. Right.
absolutely.
Mhm.
So yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Hey, Lorena, how you doing, honey? Hope you're doing well. New York Post, since you were just talking about New York Post, New York City
Mhm.
Public Schools has the biggest um, enrollment drop in 44 years.
Ooh.
So is it, Carol? Are people sending kids to? Are they homeschooling?
Oh,
Or this says public schools. So
yes.
sending them to Catholic schools and then
Mhm.
not public schools, the kids. I mean, it's the biggest enrollment drop in 44
Yes,
years.
that's it's
What's your
not,
take on
yes.
that?
Okay, so I'm sure it's not just New York, for sure, Chicago,
Yeah,
but, all the big
yeah,
cities, because it's a few different things. One is, unfortunately, all the political stuff that's going on, and what they're allowing to be taught in public schools. Not only that, so people talk a certain way. Like it even happened this weekend in front of Eliana. She's a 14-year-old girl. They were saying like pretty crude things in front of her, and I said, "Okay, guys, just watch how you say certain things." And she said, "Mom, I'm not hearing anything I don't hear anywhere else." I said, "Well, I don't talk like that about those types of things in front of you." She said, "Mom, do you know what they say at school? I hear what the kids are hearing. It's not necessarily always at home, it's at school. The disgusting things that they're hearing about sex and everything else, and how they say certain things, disgusting." And she goes, "I hear it at school. That's
sure.
where it's happening." So people are taking their kids out of, I'm not saying at private schools it's that they don't talk about that stuff. I mean, we know that it's just,
Yeah,
but you're going to have a lesser chance of it. So they're homeschooling and they're going to private schools because they don't want, that trash around their kids, or there's just too many different types of kids at public school, and they've been through so much. You can't even blame, can't blame the school. It's just that these kids have been through so much, and no parenting, no guidance, and so they're just kind of who they are, and then it's bleeding over onto everything you have spent your younger years for your children's lives trying to teach them. Yes, no, good, bad, right?
yeah, yeah.
And then all these other kids are there and they influence them. No matter what, they're going to be influenced to a point, because these are their peers. They want to be accepted, they want to belong, and they
And
want to
that's
be
the whole peer,
popular.
peer pressure. Peer
Yep.
pressure. Come on, you can do it. You couldn't do
Yep.
it. It's okay. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Rosanna, how you doing? She works in the bar. She's been working bars. Absolutely, my daughter homeschool for her, my granddaughters. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I think it's important to be
Mhm.
that. And of course, we were talking about the bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
You can do very well in
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And of course, we're talking about the public schools.
Mhm.
And you just don't hear about them so much in private schools, because it could be just as bad too in private schools. But what we're right now is what you're saying. Busy week,
Mhm.
like I said. Venuti's Friday, Chicago Prime Steakhouse Saturday is a private event at the Long Grove Country Club with Ocean's Rat Pack. Boy, and then we had a couple got engaged on Sunday at the Arcada when we did the speakeasy at the end, which is kind of cool. One lady came up there and said, "This guy wants to propose." He had no clue. Now they were together for 4 years. They have 2 kids already, and she just
Oh.
busted out crying, and he was like, he didn't know what to say. So I go, "Stacy, hi." She goes, "This is Edgar." She goes, "Yeah, I know." She goes, "I'm confused. Edgar's got something he wants to tell you," and he dropped to his knees in the basement.
Oh, that's
It was
nice.
very, very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was very, very nice.
Yeah.
Of course, we're talking about the Chicago Bears winning again, beating the Minnesota Vikings 19-17. The Bears are 7-3. It's mind-boggling to me how these guys just keep lucky. They're getting killed whole game, the last 2 weeks, and of course the last 3 seconds or last minutes, whatever it is, they win.
So you think
It's
they're getting
mind-boggling to
lucky?
me.
You don't think they're actually
Definitely.
playing like well? They're just getting lucky.
They're a
you think?
better team. They're a better
Okay.
team.
Mhm.
Much better team than they were last year. That I
Okay.
give them credit for. That coach is good, but
Okay.
they're winning. They're beating nobodies. They're
Okay.
beating nobodies, and now the next
Mhm.
4 games they're playing some more better
Okay.
teams, but winning lucky, and a lot of Bear people are happy. So hey, hanging and
Sure.
banging. Major cities have liberal teachers teaching kids woke. Oh, you're damn right about that. Hanging and banging.
Mhm.
Definitely right about that. You're
Yeah.
definitely right about that.
Mhm.
Crazy stuff. Sizzler is back. Do you remember Sizzler
Oh,
Steakhouse?
yeah.
Growing up,
Yeah,
uh,
I do.
they used to have over 700 locations. Now there's less than 75, but they got a new look happening. And
Oh,
wow, it's Sizzler. I didn't even know they were still in business. I thought they were gone, but I guess it is. Who knows?
I've seen
Uh,
Sizzler, but you know what? We went on the ferry, the Staten Island ferry, to go see this. Well, just
okay.
to we only caught the one trip. We couldn't get off of the ferry, but to see the Statue of Liberty one night, and there, they have like little food places in the station where the boat launches or whatever. They had an Arthur Treacher's. Do you remember Arthur
Oh
Treacher's fish
yeah,
and chips?
fish and chips.
Oh my
Yes,
God. Nobody
that
I
was
know
so
remembers that.
cool.
I ate it all the time when I was
Oh
younger
yeah.
and I loved it. And I'm like, you guys, I gotta go to Arthur Treacher's and get it. They're like, no, no. But it was in the station where the Staten Island the ferry was. And
Sure.
we were on the ferry, and then this guy started singing, and then he started preaching the good word. It was like a 10-minute trip, whatever, back and forth. But he had everybody, like, people were listening to him, people were then they all started coming out of the woodwork. They had a group of people there from every end of the boat, but they were together. We didn't know that. But, he handed out these little Jesus figurines, which I took,
Okay.
and then there were some kids on
Absolutely.
there
Let them
drinking
preach.
their
Let them
booze.
preach.
Right. He was preaching. So yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
You're right. Yeah, Eric Todd, what's up, brother? You're right. I don't think the Bears won any of the games against a team with winning records. They did not. And but these guys, here's a typical Bears fan. Okay, here's a typical Bears fan. They're excited. It's 11 o'clock. They're sitting in front of the TV. They got their Subway or sandwich and pizza. And I'm going to wait to watch their favorite team. And then, of course, as the game goes on, oh, you suck. You guys will always suck. You're the same old fucking Bears. You suck. And then they win. Oh, we won. We're going to the playoffs. We're going to the playoffs. That's the typical Bears every Sunday. So there you go. There you go. Carol, this is interesting. Tell me that I didn't want to work my whole life and take care of someone else's family. You should take care of your own. I worked at 13 years old when I first got a job. Do you remember how old you were when you first got your job? How old
12.
were you?
12. Well,
Okay.
12 because it was my family's business. Obviously, there were
You
no
were still
workers.
working though. Doesn't make a
Yeah,
difference.
yeah.
You were still
A
working.
lots of hours too. I was 7 days a week. I had to go with my dad to the hot dog stand. So 12 years old, I started. At 14, I got a job at the mall because I wanted to make my own money. Yeah, I mean, I would get paid here and there at the hot dog stand, but
Right.
you hear you're going to get whatever, we pay for your clothes, you have a roof over your head, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I was 12. I worked hard at 12. I did. It was a lot of hours, and it sucked because I missed a lot of things that kids my age were doing. It really kind of sucked for a while there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
why? What happened to the work? I think the 2020 when everybody, and I think it could be before that, but I think when they all got paid to stay home for those during the flu and back in 2020,
Yep.
there's people that do not want to work.
No, they don't.
They don't.
Mm-mm.
They're like entitled. They're entitled. I don't have to work.
Mm-hmm. Well, if mom and dad, here's the problem. If you're living at home with your parents still, I know kids that are 20, living at home with your parents. Listen, I was at home till I was 25. Okay. I had no desire to leave you know what I mean? I was working, paid my own stuff, whatever, had a car, but they live at home, no job, like goes 3, 4, 6 months without a job, 8 months, 10 months without a job. How are you paying for your car that you have? How are you paying for your gas, your daily stuff that you spend on? Are you just using like your parents' credit card or you're asking for money at 20? I'd be embarrassed, especially, I'm sorry, as a man or boy or whatever you want to say. How do you date somebody? How do you even go on a date? What do you do?
Forget about you also need the car insurance. You also need gas. You also need a cell phone. Right? How do you pay for all this?
Because you're on mom and dad's packages.
Crazy.
They need to
get off your ass and get a job and tell the parents to get off tell your parents to tell them, hey, go out and get a job, do something. There's work for kids. after
Right.
school. There is something
Yeah.
out there. It's just
Mhm.
crazy.
Yep.
Just only you can prevent empty venues. Support local music. We say it all the time. Support local
Mhm.
establishments, support live entertainment. It's also a happy National Drummers Day. So Tony Toto, happy Drummers Day, buddy, and all the other
Yep.
drummers out there in Chicago, happy Drummers Day. Finally, O.J. Simpson's estate finally pays off Ron Goldman. They had $58 million after decades after the murder. Finally, the estate pays Ron Goldman $58 million.
30 years later, this man lost his son brutally murdered, okay, for no reason whatsoever. You know, they had to wait 30 years. Why? They waited till OJ's dead. He can't benefit from the money anymore,
Yeah.
having all that money. And now his estate pays
Yeah.
him out. Big
Right.
deal. Now, yes, they do. They
Yeah.
deserve it. Yeah, but
It's
it's
never
30
going to
years
bring him
later
back.
now. No, it's
And
brutal.
you know what? That's a question, Carol, that we're always going to ask. Did OJ do it? Did he not do it? And Ron Goldman be there at the returning sunglasses, supposedly. I listen. I believe she was cheating on OJ with this guy Goldman. Guaranteed something was going on. I do believe that OJ probably killed him.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed.
No
Or
doubt.
maybe his son, or maybe OJ's son killed him to protect his dad. I don't know, but there was a lot going wrong. I think there was a lot going wrong in that family. Unfortunately, horrible what happened.
Yeah, well, OJ Simpson beat the shit out of Nicole Brown for years. She had pictures
for
of
years.
probably
For
decades.
years.
I don't know, but her family knows, the sister. They all have the stories. They have pictures. This guy, he had a record for her beating on her. You know what I mean? So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't blame her for cheating. I don't blame her for wanting to have a regular relationship. She probably couldn't get away from him. There was no other way for her to do it. She couldn't leave him because I'm sure he told her he would kill her if she left him. So she took a chance.
But you
right?
could leave. You could leave, though.
You could leave, but you got to understand. I talk to women like this all the time. They say, "I will kill you. I will kill your family." Like they're going to kill you. You know what I mean? So that's the messed up part. You absolutely can leave, but she took the chance and met this guy, and they took a chance, and then this is what happens.
And it was bad. Do you think though sometimes she also stayed because she was OJ's wife? Okay, let's pretend this guy was a plumber and beat up his wife multiple times. The police were at the house. Blah, blah, blah. You better not leave me. I'm going to kill you or whatever, which I'm sure that happens a lot. Absolutely. But in the back of her mind, she was thinking, this is OJ. I'm still going to have all this great big house, this money, about fame. Or is it just, I don't. I'm trying to look at both sides, if you understand what I'm talking about.
I think when she
what
first,
do you think on that?
Yeah, I think when she first was with him, I think it was all about it's the glitz, the glamour, the fame. You're with a famous, a famous athlete. This isn't new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This happens all the time. But the thing is, she was probably young, but just like you could say she stayed because he was OJ, she also couldn't leave because he was OJ, because with OJ comes power. Listen, you got the power and the money. There's politicians that I know I've heard of, just even out here. And I've heard stories of their wives leaving them. And this guy that I heard about, he's so powerful in his political job or whatever, that she can't do anything. Like, she'll go to the police. She'll do this. She keeps coming up empty-handed. No one wants to mess with him. You understand?
No one wants to get involved. Sure.
They don't want to get involved. So you can't even have the regular authorities involved. You can't, because they won't do it. And the more powerful you are, OJ Simpson, she's not going anywhere. She's not. No. And she's not divorcing him. She's not getting money from him. Like, they make you disappear. Okay. This one, no, she didn't disappear. They got murdered brutally in an act of rage. Right.
Crazy. So crazy as it is. Ellie Weinhardt, how you doing, Ellie? She didn't need him. Kim Peterson, hi, Kim. Hanging and banging 24. Most of the Americans getting lots of help from the Sleepy Joe administration. So that's why the kids maybe don't want to work.
Yeah, they crippled them. Yeah.
Good point there. All right. Now, we both love food. We both love pizza. The
Mhm.
5 top worst. You were in New York too, so we can talk about that. When your self-esteem dies, then everything else goes. Oh boy, it came
Mhm.
out of that. That's great. That boy, absolutely. When they keep making you think that you're shit, you're going to end up being shit,
Yep.
and you're
Yep.
absolutely right. Thank you.
Mhm.
Great thing, boy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pause everything for sure, Emo. All right, worst toppings on pizza. Here's the top 5, and tell me what you think, Carol, and everybody else that's listening to Ocean Spit. Worst toppings on pizza. This stuff should not be on pizza. Number 5, barbecued chicken. Take it off pizza.
Mhm.
Number 4, anchovies should not
Ugh.
be on pizza. Number 3, bacon strips should not be on pizza. Number 2, shredded tomatoes should not be on pizza.
Shredded tomatoes.
And tell me what you think the number 1 is, Carol. That
It's
should
gonna
not
be
be on
pineapple. It's gonna be
pineapple.
pineapple. I like
Absolutely.
pineapple. I like pineapple. I like pineapple, jardinere
On your
peppers.
pizza?
Yes, I like pineapple, jardinere peppers, and pepperoni. Listen,
Oh,
sweets.
I like pepperoni. I'll
Yep.
pepperoni. I love jardiniere, but not
Okay.
pineapple.
Did you taste it?
No.
Did you taste that? You can't say no. It's so good. It's sweet and spicy. It's delicious. Fruit goes with cheese. Listen, fruit is a pineapple is a fruit, and the cheese fruit goes with cheese. It's not bad. Don't knock it
Oh,
till you try it.
okay. Now, you had the pizza. Did you have the pizza in New York
Oh, of
when you
course.
were there?
I didn't have as much as I normally would, but in Little Italy, I did. I had a big slice. Eliana got a big slice. It was
Now, let
outstanding.
me ask you, is it better than Chicago pizza? Let's be honest here.
I think so. I think so. I'm
I
sure
think
there's
so.
places in
Thank you.
Chicago that have recipes, and maybe
Yeah,
they're from New York. Like maybe people, came here, but
right.
I really
They
did.
just
I
got the one.
enjoyed it.
It's just something. Yeah,
I enjoyed
I
it.
agree with you.
Mhm.
100%. 100%. Patrice, how you doing? Emo, Debbie, how are you doing? A long time. Barbecue pizza is awesome. Pineapple is awesome. I'm just telling you, this don't kill the messenger.
Oh,
Put
just
hillbillies put barbecue chicken on pizza. Hanging and banging. No,
okay.
just cheese. I'm just picky as hell.
Yes. Oh, speaking of Jeff, okay, Jeff.
Yes.
So how odd was it? He's driving his tour bus, right? He
Sure.
was out in Brooklyn, staying in Brooklyn when we were out there the last couple days. So I was wanting to go to Astoria, Queens. Like I've been wanting to do
Sure.
that forever, regardless of why people
Yeah.
think no. I wanted to see Old Neighborhood. That's what I
I
like.
love it
Old
over there.
Neighborhood.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So we ended up going. It was a Sunday night, though. It was kind of cold. So look, it wasn't great, but we happened into a place that had it was all hookah. It was all hookah stuff out there. Hookah bar.
Sure.
Well, I never
Okay.
hookah'd before. So I said, I wanted let's go. So we went into this place. It was like a mini nightclub. It was like they had music going, lights, and they put the hookah in the middle of the table. And I was like, I don't smoke. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke vapes. Nothing.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, I was like a kid in a candy store. We ordered the flavor. It was like the lightest that they had
Right.
because I really didn't know what a hookah was. And when the first hit I took out of this long, I was like, really, and it went down my throat. And I was like, I go,
Oh yeah.
what is that? She's like, that's tobacco. I was like, holy shit. It was like cold mint. I was like, oh my God. And
Did you
it
walk?
hit
Were you a
me.
little buzzed when you left? Were you a little
Yeah,
buzzed when you left?
yeah, very. I was very buzzed and
Wait,
I kept smoking it.
was this the Sunday night when you guys left? You told me you guys left at Sunday, walking out at 2:00 in the morning. So you were buzzed too.
That's a different place. No, that was a different. That was just Gina and I. That was dumb. But
Okay.
we ended up at a
Okay.
cool rooftop bar, which was very cool.
Okay.
But with Jeff, when we went for the hookah, and he's showing me how to do it. Then I just got like enamored with the blowing the smoke and how it just like felt. So I was like videotaping myself. I was like, I'm gonna look like Scarface. I want to look like Scarface. We were in this big cushion booth, and I put my arms up. And I was blowing, and the smoke was coming out. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like,
They're
I
actually very
really,
cool to do.
yes.
Yeah, I used to own one, and it was funny. I used to own one, and the thing that we did was because I'm a pipe smoker, so I had
Okay.
Black Cavendish pipe. But the problem that we did was we poured Jack Daniels into the tobacco. Well, you're gone. You were like, we were camping. I couldn't feel my feet. I'm like, what the fuck? I will never do that again. The hookah with the Black Cavendish and soaked in Jack Daniels. Of course, what
Oh.
happened was my buddy George, God rest his soul, not with us anymore. He put some in. I didn't know he put some in. So I said, we need some more Jack in there. So there was a double dose and we were gone. Gone.
Holy cow. That was fun. I
Yeah.
will do it again. I actually would venture to say I would buy one, because not for every time, but just like once in a great while, if you're having a party, if
Yes.
people,
Yeah.
I had so much fun. I didn't really
It's
inhale
fun.
all the way down, but it was
Yeah.
fun. It was fun.
It's fun.
It really
You
was.
got to try it out.
Yeah.
Stella, how you doing, honey? At this, all this pizza talk is making me hungry. There you go. Ellie says
Mhm.
Lou Malnati's. Okay, yeah, it's okay, but it's not New York pizza. Tony,
Mm-mm.
real Italian pizzas with Borgino cheese and salt. The real, how they
Mm.
make it in Italy. Yes, until Americanized.
Yeah.
Okay, alcohol drinkers get less sick than the non-drinkers. They have less stress. They don't get as anxious. Experts say. Now, what do you think about that?
Oh God.
Listen, guys,
they're
I'm hardly ever. You guys know me, and I'm out shaking hands, kissing in bars. How you doing? Hello, how you doing? Shaking
yeah.
people's cheeks every night. How are you? Blah, blah. And God willing, I don't get sick. So,
Knock
and
on
I'm
wood,
drinking.
first of all.
So,
Okay. Right.
knock on
But
wood.
in you saying that, the other thing you're doing while you're walking around shaking everybody's hands, giving hugs, kisses, is you're building your immunity while you're doing that, because you are
Yeah.
coming in contact with lots of germs too.
Yes.
So yes, I think alcohol, does it build
Yes.
immunity?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it preserve you better? I don't know how much you drink. It depends. But it's a good argument. It's a good argument. I'm not going to say no. 'cause
This
it
is
may-
experts. They say someone says, or you never know who it
Right,
is.
who's
It
they?
says
Right.
experts, but
Experts. Okay.
who is
okay.
they? That is the question.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So, and I think like everything in moderation.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Now, they stopped making the last penny. The last United States penny, I think, was made.
Mhm.
And right now they said the last batch were made could fetch up to $5 million. If you get one of those last pennies printed, made, and
Yeah.
you get a hold of them, turn it in, and it's going to be worth, they say about $5 million. But they also had the guy from Pawn Stars on the news channel, and he said it could work between 1 million to 2 million. It depends. Did you ever think in your life, Carol, that we'd not have pennies anymore?
No, I didn't. I'm happy that we still have cash. That's my worry. That's my big fear. That's a huge fear. And you don't
Europe.
think it's not going to happen.
But Carol, in Europe right now, they got abandoned cash in Europe. No more cash anywhere in Europe. That's
I didn't
gone.
know that.
So they've got you by your credit card now, and now they've got you. That's the beginning of socialism. The minute they take away cash where you can spend it on whatever you want, it's scary.
Oh,
It's scary.
Uh-huh. Yep. Well, if there's no cash,
it's
how are the
interesting.
politicians going to get their palms greased though? Can't send that in a debit, in a Venmo or a Zelle, can you now? So guess what? You're going to be screwed too, my friend.
Big time.
Yeah, right.
Big time. You're absolutely right, folks. It's Ocean Spit. Let's show about big things. Let's talk about, of course, we're talking about the Chicago Music Cruise, which is less than 60 days away. The NTD Vacations MSC World America, January 17th to January 24th, 7-night Western Caribbean cruise. Miami, Honduras, Costa Maya, Cozumel, Ocean Cay. Go to ChicagoMusicCruise.com. Put in Tony Ocean or give Mary a call, of course. At NTD Vacations and Berkshire Hathaway Stark Real Estate, 630-688-1725. And tell them Tony O sent you. It is a crazy day today. In Canada, 30 years ago, they stopped pennies, and I have a brand new penny. Oh, I didn't know 30 years ago in Canada they did stop pennies.
Okay.
Wow. Interesting
Hmm.
it is. The Kansas City Chiefs are not in the playoffs. They're 5-5. Thank God, because I can't stand them. Aaron Rodgers, they say his hand is his wrist is not completely broke. He still could play against the Bears on Sunday. Very interesting. Here's another thing, guys. And then you got some stories to tell us about New York. There's no rap songs on the top 40 charts the first time since 1990. The last time this has happened was 35 years ago that there was no rap songs on the top 100. Do you think people are sick of these rap songs? What's your take on all that, Carol? Because obviously there's no rap songs for the first on the top 100.
Yeah, that
since
surprises
1990
me.
last time.
I don't know how they get the top 100. I don't remember Billboard and all that the different stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they figure it, because I know so many people are listening to it. They are listening to it, but they're downloading it, streaming it, all that stuff. So maybe the way that they're getting the top 100 is a little different because they're listening. Yeah. But that surprises me. I don't like it. It's the only thing. I don't know. I liked old school, like Run DMC stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's just my age showing, but on it anymore, the stuff that they say, it's just disgusting. I can't really even relate to it. They're talking about disgusting.
Well, you know what? They're saying that Snoop Dogg isn't coming out with anything. Jay-Z isn't coming with anything. P. Diddy, they're not coming out with new material either. So they haven't been on the chart in a while.
And a lot of it's women. It's the women that are saying really just disgusting shit. It just
was it Cardi B?
There's Cardi B. There's all kinds of them. But it just, I don't know. To me, that's not art. That's just me though. That's my opinion. That's not music for me. That's to me. But a lot of younger
I agree with you. And Ellie Weinreich says gangster culture is dying. I think it's dying too a little bit. I think it's a little different. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what? Speaking of music, speaking of songs, it was the first time I ever created. I got my iPhone, a few months ago, and I'm just learning how to do bare minimum. But so Eliana was helping me because we had hours yesterday to kill for the flight and everything. I was creating a playlist on like whatever I was on, Spotify or whatever, and I looked at the playlist today. I'm going to play my playlist.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. I think playlists for people, if I was, let's say, on a dating app, okay? Or if I went on a blind date or went on a date, you know what I would say? I want to see the first 30 songs on your personal playlist. Because let me tell you something, and I wrote some down because today I started playing it at work.
Yes.
Mine went from, I was like, either I'm like bipolar or I don't know what is going on. So it starts with CCR, okay? Then Bob Marley, Poison, the Commodores came on with the 10 Commandments of Love.
Okay.
Disturbed, Van Morrison, the Eagles.
Okay. All right.
Frankie Valli, Kenny Chesney, Sinatra, New Edition. I mean, it is from the 80s, 70s.
You're all over the map. But you know what? Yeah, that's good. You could be good on that.
It's got to say something
great.
about a person.
Mine would be the same thing, Yes, it does. I agree with you.
I don't know.
I agree with you.
Wide variety of musical.
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, what's really cool about the playlist? You think I sound so old right now. I sound so old. I'm like listening to my own playlist and I'm sitting here going like doing my work and a song is on. I'm like, oh, I love that one. Like I love that one because I handpicked them, obviously. But it's like, I love having a playlist. I never created a playlist before. That's how old I am, or just never really thought to do it. You know what I mean? I would just say, Alexa, play this, Alexa, play that. Now I have my little playlist here, so I'm going to keep adding to it. And I really love it. I love having all the songs that my top picks,
It's great when you pick your own tunes, and I go from one extreme. Look, Gerald, hey, Jada, how you doing? Welcome to Ocean Pit. I think it's a new name coming up. John Cena does not rap anymore either. Pretty soon it won't be wrestling. Oh, Gerald, you're right. I haven't watched Raw yet, but I think I heard it was pretty good this week. I obviously Gerald's a wrestler fan like I am. Stella, my playlist is foreign language. I have to translate it. I like some of that foreign stuff too. I like the Italian stuff that I listen to. I go from Sinatra. I go from Sweet, some Slade to the Pistols and to the Ramones.
Right.
Cheap Trick. So I go from one extreme to the other. Debbie says I go from the Carpenters to Rob Zombie. So there you go.
I love it.
There you go.
I love that.
There you go. I love that too. It is very, very cool. Guys, it's also the weather. Time for the weather. And then let's get some of your New York stories. I got to hear. Weather for today, 42 degrees. For Tuesday, November 18th, 88% humidity, 10-mile-an-hour winds. It's been raining off on all day, folks. Another 20% chance of rain starting at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And that is brought to you by the JRC Ace Hardware Minute. The weather for today. As you all know, Carol got back from New York City. Carol, what's a funny thing that happened?
Well, I got the best one. So we went to Canal Street. Gina and Jenna wanted to shop. Okay. You know how we were talked about, they have all these things that they sell out on the streets. It was
knockoffs.
So packed. But I will tell you something. So, I went with the attitude like, I'm not buying anything. Like, I don't care if I get it or not. So they're walking around, a lot of these Asian women, follow me, come into that. I go, I'm not following you more than half more block because I'm not walking into an alley because they don't want to get pinched or whatever happens to them. So
right. Yes.
They were looking at purses, right? And she goes, I got this, I got that. And I'm not going to lie, I did like a couple of these purses, right? So on the streets, the other guys that were selling them, they're like $80. I was like, are you out of your mind? And I told Eliana and Jen, I go, I'm walking away. They're going to follow me if they want to make sale. So I told them 20, like I was telling them, I was lowballing them so badly. And they would chase me when I walked away. Okay, fine.
Sure.
So the only thing I did do, there's two things. They went without us the first day because we stayed back and we had to sleep in. They came back within the packages, and this is not phony, all Apple stuff. Apple headphones that are like $500, Apple AirPods.
What do they pay for them? Do you mind me asking? What do they pay for that stuff?
Gina got headphones and AirPods, 2 for $60. Okay, brand new in the package. So I was like, I go, they can have plastic wrap, in these boxes. It looked brand new plastic wrap. Well, when she got to the hotel, they hooked it up the AirPods to the iPhone. It had AirPod Max. It was real. So then I was like, okay, we got to go back because I want to get not purses and stuff like that. I want to get the electronics. This shit is real. It was obviously just stolen. So when I went back, that's what I was looking for. And they all had it. So I had this guy hand me the headphones, the AirPods, and a brand new Apple Watch. Okay, all in the packages. And the cops were coming, I guess. They're like, I go, no, I'm not paying that much. And I finally just go, here, give me $20 back. I had a $100 bill. So I got them for $87 for all three. All three. And they're all real. When I went online to see what these things cost, one of them is $500. Those headphones, they are unbelievable what they sound like. $500 brand new. The new iPhone or the Apple Watch, it's very, very expensive. AirPods are $130. I got all three for $87. All three.
And they want the sale. They want the sale.
Right.
They want the sale.
So, but the funny thing was this Asian woman, she wouldn't leave me alone. And finally I walked away and she keeps walking after me. I said, you know what? Listen, she's talking about the cops. I said, I'll give you $20 or $30 for this. It was like obviously it's a knockoff, but it was like a really nice looking, I don't know if it was Gucci or whatever it was. And I go, you know what? I'll give you I want 2 of them for $60. $30 each. So she goes like this. She goes, and now we were haggling back and forth for a while. She wanted $120 per purse. I go, absolutely not. It's right. So we're arguing, and all of a sudden I'm walking behind her, and I said, I'll 2 for $60. That's it. And she goes, She goes, you need to go home. You need to go home. And she started like pissed off. She was pissed, and she laughed at me. And then when she said, you need to go home, like take your ass home, and she laughed, I started laughing my ass off. I almost like literally almost peed my pants. And I said, you know what I told Gina what I wanted to do to her? I wanted to be like, oh, really? I go, I wish I had a fake badge, like a police, like undercover badge, because I could, I had all
Yeah.
black on,
You're
and I
like,
wanted
like
to be
you're
like,
under arrest.
show her and go 2 for $60, or you're done, lady. Don't tell me to go home. I was like, we were dying laughing.
Or you know what? You could have went down the street. You could have went down the street and probably got it and came back, go, nah, 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 nah.
Oh, we
You
did.
know what I mean?
We did. We went
Yeah.
down the street, and this Italian guy owned this. It's a storefront, and there's a back room, and he's got. I mean, it's legit. It's legit. He's just selling
Sure.
knockoffs,
It's
right?
all legit stuff, right?
But I think they're all reporting to this guy. I think he's the one they're afraid of. I'll be honest with you.
He might be
He was
running it.
very-
Yeah, he might be
Yes.
running it.
Yes. And so, he had some stuff. I did buy a couple things because I got them for such a great price. I'm like, why not? But the electronics is what I was just like, if I get nothing else out here, because I really didn't spend money on anything but cabs or
Yeah.
Ubers. That's what costs so much money. That's why we walked everywhere. I'm like, I'm not spending this money on it, sitting in traffic.
No.
We could get
If the
there
days
faster
are
walk.
nice, go ahead and walk. Yeah.
Right. And that's what we did. And so, I didn't know that UFC had their pay-per-view event at Madison Square Garden the night we were there too, the day after
Yeah.
Eliana's event. So it was like, or 2 days after. So, and the other funny thing that happened, so Eliana's event, it's a big podcast. These kids were born and raised in Queens. Their neighborhood, their kids. They started doing this online stuff 10 years ago. They're like in their early 30s. Really good kids. I mean, I really enjoyed their show. It's funny, and they're just real. So we're watching it, and Eliana, when I tell you, I feel her like when you love somebody so much, you want to meet them. She's like, I go, Eliana, we got good seats. We're here at the show. You're seeing them in person. She's like, I know, I feel so ignorant even saying this, but I need to meet him. I go, well, listen, then this is how you do it. Let me give you a lesson in stalking, honey. Let me just show you what we're going to do. So we're leaving, and somebody had said that there's a tunnel or something. Because I asked the guy, I go, where do the people leave from here? Like, where do they actually leave? He's like, well, there's like an underground thing, and then there's a tunnel, and sometimes they might walk out, but whatever. So we're going down this, I don't know if it was an escalator or stairs, and she saw this older gentleman. She goes, oh, that's Frankie's dad. He's the co-host of the whole show, this guy, Frankie.
Okay.
And it was his dad. I go, are you positive it's his dad, Eliana? Because I'm going to be pissed off. And she goes, it's his dad. I said, all right, well, then we're going to go up to him. And wherever this dad's going to be, Frankie might follow. You don't know. So I walked up to the dad.
Yeah.
I go, are you Frankie's dad? He goes, yeah. I go, well, my daughter absolutely loves your son and his friend's show. I said, will you take a picture with her? He's like, sure. So I took a picture with Eliana and the dad, Frankie's dad. Then as we're walking, we see this really attractive guy that looked just like the guy from the podcast. And she goes, that's like, he's one of his best friends. I go, well, we're going to follow the best friend and his pretty girlfriends, because I guarantee they're going to go to the back where someone's coming out. Sure enough, she goes, I'm not following them. I go, well, then you don't want to meet them, because you got to do it. I go, and they're not only that, Eliana, they don't know we're following them. We're going to stay far behind. We're walking. So we walked the back around. And one of the main guys, not the main guy, came out to say hello to this best friend kid with all his pretty girlfriends. And I know there was an after party somewhere. If I didn't have Eliana with me, I for sure.
Absolutely.
So he came out, and she goes, oh, there's Ahmed or whatever. And I said, I told you, they're going to meet them. They're in his show a lot. We followed these people and the girlfriends for probably a half a mile at least. I go, there's going to be an after party, and they're going to it, Eliana. If you want to meet them,
or they're going to go eat or they're going to have dinner somewhere.
Right, a dinner, right? Yeah. We followed them as long as we could, and I know had it not been New York, later in the evening on the streets, which I couldn't do anymore. I had Eliana with me. Plus, I didn't want shit to happen. But I go, they're gonna go to dinner or an after party. I go, and that's what I would have done. I go, Eliana, I've met a lot of famous people, because if you know where they're gonna be, it's not a bad thing. That's why people are going to see them. It's their fans. You want to take a picture and meet them. It's not. Don't be creepy about it. But if you don't go up and say something, they're not going to come up to you. So we spent, So we got so close. We met one, saw another kid, and they came out, and I said, if we follow them, and she goes, I just feel like a creep. I go, well, then you don't want it badly enough.
You don't want it bad enough. Come on, we've all done it out there, folks.
Right, right.
We've all done it.
It was fun. It was so much fun. We had a great time.
You know what? You got to take that shot. You got to take that shot because
Yeah,
it might not happen again.
absolutely.
You got to
No.
take that shot. I
Yep.
agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Emo, again, thank you, Karen. Carlo Joseph. Hey, Carlo. Carlo's going to be on the show with us too tomorrow, live from his cruise ship. So we're going to have
Oh,
Conservative Ant kicking it off because he's only got about 15 minutes with us.
okay.
And then Carlo's going to be coming on showing on his cruise ship that he's going to be on there, folks. This is 1 o'clock, folks. It's 1:01 actually, and it's time for us to take off. But man, I just want to thank Danny Mazzi, Armando Supermarkets, buy local, shop local, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. Tomorrow, don't forget, Thursday will be tomorrow. Conservative Ant will be our guest on the show. The first part of about 15 minutes into the show because he's got a busy schedule coming up. And then my buddy Carlo will be the second part of the show. And then Thursday will be at Venuti's Thursday night, but Conservative Anthony will be live. So you can talk to Ant, take some pictures with him. Of course, if you guys don't know, Conservative Anthony Raimondi is the son of Danny Raimondi, saxophone player, of course, from Chicago, and with the Tony Ocean Main Event Band. So that's going to be a lot of fun on Thursday here. And then Friday, Chicago Prime. Saturday is a private event. Some other stuff coming up. We got some cool stuff coming up for Ocean's Rat Pack, folks. Tano's Black Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, will be at Positano's with Jerry Jams and Lisa P. Villaggio in Roselle, folks, on the 29th. Tivoli Theater on December 4th with Ocean's Rat Pack in Downers Grove. December 3rd, Christmas show at Rosario's in Roselle. The 12th, December 6th, Indianapolis, folks. Holy cow. The Lyric Theater on the 13th of December with Ocean's Rat Pack. Jamos, birthday party bash. Tony Ocean and friends at Jamos on the 28th and Taverna on the 27th. And New Year's Eve will be at Avanti Banquets in Fox River Grove. Jeff, you'll be joining me. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, guys. So we got to go, but remember, we got some birthdays here for you. Petulia Clark turns 93 years old. Lisa Wetchel, 62 years old. James Young from Styx. Tony Schiavone for our wrestling fans, AEW. Ed Asner. Annie Friend, of course, from ABBA, 80 years old. William Wayo played Grady on Sanford and Son. Oh, these crazy names here. Randy Macho Man Savage. Woo, yeah. Beverly D'Angelo, 77. Peter Davidson is 31 years old. And Elle celebrating a birthday this past Saturday, guys. Thank you, Carol, for being on the show. Tomorrow we'll be back, folks, again with my good friend, Conservative Ant, and Carlo Joseph. And Carol will be back with us on Thursday. Guys, our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Christmas lights on sale all month long. Outdo your neighbors with strings of 100 starting as low as $9.99. Turkey brine bags with Chef Jay's. Turkey brine only $8.99 down from $13.99. Savings of 35%. And Black Friday, all Carhartt clothes for 25% off. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. All right, buy local, shop local, support local establishments, support live entertainment. And if you're insulted or offended with this show, turn it off. Change it. That's what that's what it is. Doesn't mean you're right. Does not mean you're right. But just be kind, everybody, because it's going to be, it's tough. It's a tough world. Just be kind and have a great day, everybody. Peace and love. God bless you all. Nick Sahajas, the piano man. Take